Today I'm going to be replacing the headlights in a 2014 Chevrolet Silverado. For the low beams, you will need two H11 bulbs, and for the high beams, you will need two 9005 bulbs. I got these bulbs from Lasfit. They come packaged really nicely, and we're going to open these up and show you what they look like. These bulbs are the LA Air series, and they come packaged really nicely. They have plastic all around them. So we'll go ahead and open these up for you. Take the lid off. They actually come with gloves, which those will come in handy. And these are spare rubber O-rings for your housing in your vehicle, a manual, and there are your lights packed in there in the foam casings. You could probably drop these while they're in transit and there would be no harm done to them. This box is exactly the same. These are the 9005 bulbs and these are the H11 bulbs. Here's what the bulb looks like, and I wanted to show you that right there is the rubber O-ring that also came with spares, and it says you can replace those if they are too loose or too tight. So that's why it came with spares, so that you can take that one off and use one of the spares that it came with and replace it if needed. Here's a short comparison between the two bulbs. Here's the stock halogen bulb and the new LED Lasfit H11 bulb. In order to get to the lights on the Silverado right here, I'm gonna have to go into the engine bay, and on the passenger side you'll have to remove the air box, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. May have to remove this one here too, but it's 5 bolts that are 8 millimeters, so we'll start with that. You're going to want to unattach this, and then all 4 bolts and your mass airflow sensor. Take this top off. Take the air filter out. The bottom of the air box is attached by 2 pins that hold it in place, and you'll have to pull up and detach those before you can take this out. Once you pop those out, be able to pull it out. Now once those are taken out, you'll have to take this 1, 2, 3, I think there's just three pins out. Here's one of the pins. You need to pry up on this top part, and the top part will slide out. Once you pry the top part out and pull it up, it gives you a little bit of flexibility so you can pull the other part of the clip out. Once we have taken all of our clips out, we will now have access to the low beams, and down there below that is the high beam. They have 2 covers on them. You're going to twist it and the cover comes off. And set that there. Once the cover is off, you will now have access to your bulb. Go ahead, twist our bulb, and it comes out. And now we will unplug this. Once we unplug that, we will plug in our new Lasfit bulb and reinsert it into the housing. Went ahead and put the fancy gloves on, but now we will unattach this bulb here. We've unplugged it. It's really tight quarters here, but make sure this goes on the back and on the bottom of the bulb.
Now for these bulbs, there's going to be notches, and there's one big notch right on the top and two smaller ones, and they will feed in there a certain way into the housing, almost sideways. So stick those in there sideways, almost slightly push down, give it a turn to the right, and now that bulb is installed. So on these covers, when you're going to put them back in, it actually says right there, open and lock. Turn to the right to lock, turn to the left to open, and that is supposed to face down, and that's the top. And now you have your cover back on. And the high beam is down here below, and you're going to do the same process with it to install that one. So once we have our bulbs back in and the covers back on, we can start snapping the tabs back into place. So take this one there, that one there, take your two push tabs, just go in there, give it a push. There's another one. Give it a push. Now that's all covered up. Now you're going to put your air box back on there. Alright, so now we're going to put the bottom of the air box back in, and there is a little spot here that feeds down below here, and there's two of these that they're kind of pop tabs that will pop into place right here, and another one right here. So we'll go ahead and feed these in there, starting with this side, which goes right here. So we'll slide this in here. So now that that's back into place, take your air filter, slide it back on top there. Take the top of your air box, try to wiggle this back in here. Don't forget to plug back in your mass airflow sensor. Push the tab down. And now you'll put your 4 screws back in. Now check over everything to make sure I did everything. 4 screws, clips, mass airflow sensor, clip, 2 more clips down below. We're good to go. I purposely did the passenger side first because I knew it was going to be a bigger job. The driver's side, you're able to get to everything without taking anything out. So this side will be much easier, but I just wanted to give you an explanation of the passenger side, since I know it's a little bit of a pain, but the finished product will be well worth it. Now we're going to do the same thing with the high beam. Take our cover, turn that to the left, take your bulb, turn that to the left. They were very kind with the wire. They give you a little bit of room. Pull your bulb out. Take your new Lasfit 9005 bulb. Tab on the bottom. Should click into place. Put that back in the housing. Turn to the right. Take this, notice your down arrow. Put your cap on, turn it to the right. That side is done. Very simple. This wasn't a tough install. It did take some time taking the airbox out and, you know, moving all the parts around, popping the tabs loose and everything on the passenger side. The driver's side went much smoother, but that's why I did the passenger side first, so I could show you guys how to do it. I think they look a lot better. They're much, much brighter, as you can see from the comparison video. Turned out great. I like how they look. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy.